holy moly. Oh my, Gary. Gary, you are a sweetheart. Look at this thing. Wait for it. Wait for it. Look at that beauty, huh? Damn. Hey, sweetheart. How are you today? You want to sit right here? You sit right there. And you greet everybody that comes in. All right? That's pretty good. Love you, man. These are beautiful. Oh. You guys are a special breed of people, I say. Hello, my dear ones. I hope you are all doing your very best. Look at this. See if I can get that around for you. Flower power. Berry bliss. Yeah, this is all the berries. I mean, these berries do everything. The berries are where almost all the power is in nature. We talk about the fruit, definitely. Between the fruits and berries, you have the highest consciousness form food on the planet. That's the highest consciousness. So they're obviously all neurological. The berries, of course, are almost all endocrine gland. There's Cassandra berry, of course, central nervous system and stuff. So there's a lot of, the berries just have such a power to them, such a nutritive strength, right? And flower power, a lot of you guys are familiar with moonshine yarrow, running Fox Farms moonshine yarrow. Yeah, I use that in the Oklahoma bombing. She hit a formula that should have made grand prize around the world because it literally, I was working with a mental health clinic down in Naples, and I was working with the psychiatrist. She had some problems. She working out. She had a young girl come in one day, raped by her dad. And of course, the girl was totally out of it. Shock, screaming, all kinds of problems. And she grabbed that moonshine yarrow, the psychiatrist did, put a quarter of a dropper full under her tongue. In less than a minute, the sweetheart girl, she just settled down like this and goes, wow, what was that? And that was a flower essence. The power of the flower for your astral body. And we've talked a lot about the emotional karma that each of us come in here with. I mean, when you're going through lifetimes after lifetimes of journeys, some of them very traumatic, where you could have gotten hung, cut up, who knows, You've been through a lot. Each and every one of you have been through. You didn't just come out of bliss and a heaven and then just come to this planet right now in this situation. That's far from true. Everything is karmically driven, and it starts way beyond this level. But you've got what you've got, and you just have to let it burn off. By the time you're hearing these words and you're involved in health and you're involved in bettering your experience, you're raising your head up, you're putting your binoculars down, and you're starting to look around. And that's when you start awakening. And that's generally called spirituality, the growth of an individual that starts to pull themselves away. So many people are hyper-focused on the medical community, and this is a good example. And yet there's no curative value. Matter of fact, we just had a case yesterday, or not yesterday, but last week. The medical doctor told the lady, says, we don't cure. And this is what the medical doctor told her. We treat. And I thought that was just an honest medical doctor. He was being honest with her. We don't cure anything because we don't understand what causes anything. It's one thing to go to a lab and experiment with chemistry as opposed to symptomology. Oh, how many people were hurt doing that? Or animals. It's just such a high level of unconsciousness. And yet, movie star after movie star worldwide dies. All these public figures die from this. Once in a while, there's a survivalist, no question about it. What is going on there, right? And yet you have so many people keep going to the person that's killing them. And I've seen that in all these. It's a special group, and most towns have them. I forget what they call them. They're tied to the mental health clinics and the jails. So let's say a guy beats his wife up. Could be vice versa. The cops come. Of course, now you go to jail automatically, but they generally take the woman and put her in a halfway house. And there's a lot of halfway houses in most towns that no one knows anything about. And the ladies are taken there. The sad thing about it is that most of the women end up going right back to their abusive husbands. Now that's just looking at it from a female point of view and what I experienced with the mental health clinic. And my wife was a nurse and worked with the mental health clinic, and it was unbelievable what went on. Yeah. So it's just so important that you take the reins by your own hands of your journey, of your vehicle, of your car, of your horse, or of your ride, and learn the truth of things and apply them to yourself. Try not to get trapped in the intellectual side of health, because it's got so many roads, so many pathways and byways that'll take you down to nowhere land, and it'll occupy your awareness, taking you away from the enjoyment of the moment, the bliss of happiness, the bliss of beingness, and pulls you into the bliss of desire, of separation, trying to find the truth from the lie, that sort of thing. And yet it all comes from the same source. Crazy stuff. All right, I'm going to have to take a little break in the middle of this, but all right, this is Diane. She's obviously a female from the United States. She's 60 years young. She's 5'8", 155 pounds. I have 2 to 3 thyroid nodules. Okay, so let me read this another way. I have 2 to 3 thyroid tumors. Tumors are scarier than nodules, aren't they? I got 3 little nodules. You got 3 tumors. Whoa, 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 whoa. All these things are from the same source, from the same system. All these nodules that pop up everywhere, and they pop up everywhere. They're on your bowel wall, both inner and outer wall. So when you have an endo or either colon or endoscopy from the front, they can cut them out. God. Again, remember, treatment-based thinking is vital at times. In stat situations, yes. But as a way of looking at health and dealing with people's inability to understand the diets and the proper ways to eat and take care of themselves, it's horrible. And yet you have people constantly going right back to that same system, and very few look over here and go, oh, wow, look. That's why you guys are so valuable here. So this lady has 3 thyroid nodules. So what she has, if she's not careful, she'll get a, pretty good expression there. But this is just lymph. You want to get your kidneys filtering. Kidneys. Remember, kidneys and skin. Those are your eliminative organs. That's your poo-poo organs for your lymphatic system. So you want to be able to sweat real good. You want to be able to filter in your urine real good. And then all these nodules will come out. And you might even, if you have them on the thyroid, you might have some down below, on the bowel, in the lungs. It's just showing you that your sewer system in all these tissues is backed up. That's all that is. Not something mysterious. A tumor popped up out of nowhere because you're not such a good person or something like that. It gets me like somebody's business. This is your lymphatic system. And, again, like all these spiritual journeys, all these journeys that you're on are leading you guys to truth right now. And by awakening to this and applying these simple, nothing to hurt, simple truths, it'll start wakening you up. And that's so important to applying all these things. Because, like I said, okay, I've got 3 nodules on the thyroid, maybe I've got a couple in the lungs, and maybe a few in the bowels. All right, so now I'm learning that I have a sewer system that's everywhere. Everywhere. Remember this? I have a sewer system that's literally everywhere. And it's backed up. So I've got to make sure I'm sweating with my skin and my filtering with my urine. Those are your eliminative organs of your sewer system. Well, what could suppress the thyroid? Lymph. When the lymph backs up in something, it can hyperstimulate that tissue and make it hyperactive, or it can do the opposite and shut it down. So you can go into hyperthyroidism or the opposite, hypo. You can go into either one with the same cause behind it. I have to laugh sometimes because the medical world is perplexed at that. But you can look at that in your own world and see how proteins can hyperstimulate you at certain points or pull the energy right out of your butt. I mean, you can just watch and observe all these actions on your own body. But, so this lady has got her lymphatic system backed up. It's that simple. Now, if she's not careful, they'll want to just take out the thyroid. Well, dude, just take that out. I mean, imagine what all the thyroid does, tied to your bones, of course, same with the parathyroids and all this other stuff, we just take them out. I just think they're lollipops. You really got to learn the lymphatic system and learn how to fix it. So this lady's got to jump into a raw food diet, number 1. And you can try all raw, nothing cooked, but if you leave the vegetables off, and you stay up with the fruit, the berries, the melons, you can move some of these nodules. It depends on your genes, the chronicness of the bowels, the chronicness of the kidneys, yeah. But some of these don't take long to come out at all. Some of these goiters we've gotten out of people really quick. Look at Roseanne Calabrese, Dr. Calabrese, and how fast she got hers out. She had a pretty big one, though, if I remember right. Had molecular testing for a second time. I mean, you can test those things till the friggin' cows come home. And guess what? They're just going to grow on you. Test them all you want. Give them a little love pat. Your tumors have only 2 ways to go, up or down. And the only way they can go down is when you're moving your sewer system, your lymphatic system, because they're not tied to your blood. Although, let's see, the first was 8 years ago, and they wanted me to have them surgically removed with 80% chance of cancer. Oh, those guys just, where's my wastebasket so I can throw the freak up? And this is only Monday. I'm already throwing up because of the medical doctors. Jesus. The outcome this time is pretty much the same. NTRK3, neurotrophic receptor, tyrosine kinase 3. Damn. Fusion was identified in this sample. Go on a fruit diet, get on some herbs for your kidneys and your lymphatic system, your endocrinology, work on yourself that way and pull this out. Do a 3-day water fast if you want to, stuff like that, and get these nodules out of there. It's not that difficult. But play with them, not so good. I have a high probability of papillary carcinoma. You know what? Quit buying into these people. Your lymphatic system's backed up. So you have the possibility of breaking down a cell, making it called a cancer cell when it's just a broken down cell from your lymph system probably anywhere in your body right now, especially up in the throat area and probably the breast and chest areas. Absolutely you do. Okay, get your sewer system going, get your kidneys filtering, get everything opened up, get everything moving and cleaned up, and you're good as you were when, maybe even before you were born. But you got to work on your lymphatic system. Look at here. And have a higher rate of regional lymph node and possibility distant metastasis. So you listen and buy into all that crap. Of course you're going to have lymph nodes involved. Why? Because what's between the kidneys and your tissues? Your septic tanks, your lymph nodes. What's between the outside yard and the house and your septic tank? And that's your lymph nodes. Well, we could just cut it out. I mean, these people need to go to jail for this level of thinking. A lot of people out there that hear this have just accepted it so long they go, that's the medical world. They just cut things out. Yeah, you know how many people have died from this? I mean, and lived a life of hell with lymphedema for years. I mean, I can't even tell you. From what we've seen, the suffering from these medical people removing these things because, you got a couple of nodules. Holy crap. And the cancer moved down the road somewhere. I know it did. It moved on you down the road somewhere. I would have been laughing all the way out of that hospital. They are saying, oh my God, genes may serve as an effective therapeutic target. This is just a lot of goopily-goop garbage. And some of these words here, I can't even friggin' pronounce them. They think they're so above everybody and they talk like this crap when it's simply your sewer system and acids backing up on your tissues. It's that simple. You dig like that and you'll get lost. These guys are lost. These souls are lost. They don't even know where the hell they are. And they'll get more lost and more lost and more lost to the patient. It's probably already that way with them. It's no more about the patient. It's no more about the understanding the body. They've left that realm and entered a realm of, I don't know, but it sounds good. Because you talk to any physiology teacher at this level, and I can tell you these are all theories. These are all theories. And your life is at stake when you're talking about theories for what, 3 or 4 nodules? But then I don't know if you have nodules in other places or stuff. Same problem, right? And this could go all the way up to your brain. You didn't send me any eye pictures to look at that. But look at your eyes and see where you go. But you want to get well grounded before you jump. Sounds like you've got some sense to yourself, but don't freak out. I have put this off for a long time. Well, fear can do that. And Debbie, maybe it's your spiritual side. Diana, maybe this is your spiritual side. That was Debbie last lifetime. I know it was. They can't give me 100% that I have cancer, so that has prevented me from removing it. Even if you had define yourself and realize what a cancer cell is. It's no different than its buddy right beside him and his other buddies around him. They all came together, right? So how did this one, and probably the ones around him are probably a little atypical as well, how did these particular cells, and particularly maybe even one, but generally it's 3 or 4 or 5, or more, how does this particular cell degrade to the point that they're going to use the word cancer on the cell? Cancer isn't a word that's a special word for a cell. Graduated with a diploma, I'm cancer cell on it. That's about as stupid as a mule being able to fly. Although, so you have to understand, ask yourself, what causes a cell to be damaged anywhere? I don't care where. Wherever you look, your lungs, your breasts, your ovaries, your testicles, your liver, your pancreas, wherever you look, what do you find? A bunch of cells formed into an organ or a gland, and two fluids that are responsible for taking care of them, an electrical department that turns everybody on, made of the same thing. That's what you see. You have a little little chemistry going on in there, absolutely. But bottom line, what do you see? So what are these two fluids? Why would the body have such a dominant mucousy fluid that's cholesterol-based? That's at least as big, if not much bigger, than the blood system. What could that be for? Just sit there and look pretty? I've never seen God do anything and just sit there and look pretty. Although a lot of things look pretty in creation. So it's enough to say that this cell that's becoming a cancer cell is being created. What's an atypical cell vaginally? Why do you have a pap smear for? Why do you want to know if you have atypical cells for? What's atypical, and what happens to an atypical cell if you don't get rid of it or turn it around? Oh, it becomes the next cancer cell. Oh. So you ask yourself, what's taking my normal cell and making it what they call a cancer cell? What's breaking down my cells? All right? So then you go to the fact that there's only two sides to chemistry in all the galaxies far, far away, including this one. Duality rules creation, period. There's two sides to it, everything. And chemistry rules, and there's two sides to chemistry. There's not three. So you just have to look at the alkaline side of chemistry and the acid and ask yourself, what does alkaline chemistry do? What does anionic mean? What does acid and cationic mean? Ow! You take a look at that. And know that your body is simply designed of a whole bunch of houses, almost 100 trillion houses, or cells we call them, and two major fluids that take care of them. If you live outside of that world, you're lost in space. You're lost in physiology worlds of nowhere, man. Physiology world that still doesn't recognize the lymphatic system in the brain. Not that they would know what to do with it. That's the other problem. Oh, yeah, that's good then. That's great. There's a lymphatic system in the brain. I don't know. Autoimmune. All these words like this take you right into your lymphatic system. It's a system. It's a whole system. Miles of capillaries, vessels, trunks. And it removes sewage, byproducts of metabolism, byproducts of kinetic activity period. From exercise to everything. Everything requires chemistry involved in the process, energetically. So then you have byproducts. You have byproducts from your car exhaust. You have byproducts from burning chemistry everywhere in the galaxies, here and far away. What do we do with the byproducts of that chemistry? And what side of chemistry generally are these byproducts on? And you're going to go right into the acid side of chemistry. You're going to understand what acids do. And when you start looking at acidosis and what acids do to tissues and what they cause, pretty soon you realize you're looking at the books of diseases. You're starting to look at the medical books of diseases. And you go, wait a minute, this is all the same. If I treat it the same, medical doctor told the state one time down here, they were coming after me for curing this cancer case. And this medical doctor, I couldn't have been more happier. He said, that doc, he treats everybody the same way. Thank you. Except for a little formula here and there, thank you very much. And guess what? That's why we have a reputation of caring about everything on the planet. Because if you keep it simple, you don't freak out. Keep it simple. Understand you have the power to get your lymphatic system moving. You have the power to understand the lymphatic system because you're listening right now to me. And if you'll keep it simple, it's shocking what's going on in the medical world. Shocking. It's also grand. I mean, some of these surgeries, I've told you that before a million times. A good surgeon can do, it's unreal. But at the same time, a surgeon can mess you up. Yeah, both sides. Same way with naturopaths and everybody else, of course. But you have a lymphatic problem, and you want to get to it and work on it. And that's going into I'd get on the kits. I won't even go into them. I'm going to go right down that road. Get on a grape diet. Start maybe wean off by keeping a salad at lunch. Put grapes or fruits bowl in the morning, same at night. Salad at lunch, and then get rid of the salad in a couple of weeks. But you want to jump into this. It's not like you're sitting there with a big-ass tumor like that. You've seen some of these tumors. Your thyroid doesn't look like that yet. I mean, there's some people in there, some serious cases. I feel for them. That's why it's so important to understand the lymphatic system and that you have the power to cure yourself. You put your health in a medical doctor's hands, shame on you. Even in my hands, anybody's hands. You get what you get. You want to know. I don't care how many questions you ask me. If I don't know, I'll tell you. But I want to make sure you understand. This gobbledygook they're telling you is just intellectual nonsense. This is all your lymphatic system. It's that simple. How it affects all these receptors and everything else, yes, okay. But the causative factors, they keep looking at the effect and tallying off the effect. Go ahead. You can do that till the cows come home. You'll never cure anybody, and you end up killing more people. This new ENT wants me to move forward and remove, but again, I'm hesitant. I have, done your detoxes and believe in your ways of healing. I'll tell you what. I appreciate that, Diana, but I'll have to tell you, if you'd have done this program like you should have, those nodules wouldn't be there. I've been in this field 50-some years. I've gotten rid of tumors and everything else on thyroids, rebuilt new thyroids, so very aware. So I appreciate the love here. But you need to get back on that and get real strict. Go on just total fruit for 1 month. Then top it off with a 3-day water fast. Make sure your kidneys are filtering. Use herbs for the kidneys, the lymphatic system, the endocrine glands, the bowels, the Fab 4, at least that 4. If you want to break in and move more blood up here, just in case you have a little stasis going on, but you can play all kinds of ways. Take a look at your eye pictures. You know, when you're starting to pull yourself, because that's what you're doing, pulling yourself into the world of cancer, it's not a good world. Death is everywhere from the treatment of this. It smells. You ever smell a tumor? It's necrotic. These are all acids and proteins in the body that's accumulated and put into a holding tank, closet, tumor, polyp, whatever you want to call it, a cyst, abscess. But if you open your doorway, those nodules will come off of there. The only way that they wouldn't is if you've destroyed your lymph node to the thyroid gland. And I don't know which ones they are. Be hell if that was the tonsils, wouldn't it? Supposedly this tumor is slow growing. It's almost 2.3 centimeters. The outer is 5.2, but nothing to worry about. You can see the large one a tad while starting her throat and watching me swallow. What to do? Hit it. Get serious. Get focused. Or you're going to pop with several tumors. I mean, you got a whole system down, sweetheart. My husband went to one of your weekend classes about 15 years ago. We love you and your ways. We have such respect for you. Diane, I do too. And forgive me for being a little strong on you. But I want you to live and have a good life. And not keep pushing and pushing and pushing, because if your lymphatic system is stagnant and you're not removing the waste out of your bodies, either through the kidneys and skin, you can't change the outcome as far as I know. You can't burn a tumor out of you and not have a residual effect on that. And that's what they're trying to do. They either burn your tumor out with chemotherapy or they burn it out with radiation. The problem with that is you just can't focus in, even with radiation, in on the tumor. And especially if you're taking chemo orally, you're going from head to toe with it. So you're trying to destroy cells. Oh, wait a minute, your body's made of cells. Everything, your body's made to, but I'm trying to destroy these one cells. I just want to kill these one cells. How do you tell chemistry how to do that? And don't buy into the fact that they've learned how to talk to chemistry and tell it where to go. Oh my God. So don't buy into that. I've got to take a little break, and I will be back with you to see if we can't get a few more of these cases. But Diana, strict. Get these polyps out of there. You can do it. They shouldn't be there. All right, that's your lymph system. And that'll give you years and years and years of health and life after this. That's the beauty of that. By fixing this now, you grow up into your hundreds. You'll fix all the areas of your body that's breaking down that you don't know of. Fix all this stuff. Get all your endos fixed up. I mean, the beauty of that. And then you learn more. Take the kids. The hubby's already learning how to take care of that. And that make this a family affair. You know, dig in. Get these nodules out. Call Dr. Roseanne Calabrese, if you have to, and let her talk to you for a while. She'll bug your ear off. She's a big old goiter. So if she had that fear and that stop, I didn't go anywhere, so I got to go back. She wouldn't be here today. So if you believe in it and you understand that, then you have to work it, baby. Work it. Work it. Okay? All right. I'll be back. Well, that was magically quick. Ah, holy moly. All right. Yeah, I would say if you learn anything from me from all these years, spirituality is your number one, but your lymphatic system, got to learn about it, got to learn about what the humps and lumps are and all these things like that, and why do you have them? You know, if you look at it as energy flows, and if there's no obstruction to the flow of energy, there's no dis-ease. As soon as there's an obstruction to the flow of energy, there's dis-ease. Humans, not many of them, have touched way up into some of these areas where there's very little obstruction to the flow of energy. And the body has, outside of the consciousness of the individual, the body has several flows of energy that come through it. The mental energies, the mind energies, in other words, the emotional energies, right? Then the atomic cellular energies and the energy from chemistry and all of that. So, always keep it simple in terms of learning and seeing how things are done and made. When you become complicated and intellectual, that's when the highway starts to have a lot of different side roads to it. And you can be forever. It's fun to play on those roads as long as you keep your foundation. You keep your foundation in place, and then you can understand more about what's going on down the road. When you get into these sub-nano levels, everything is all speculation, guys. When you're talking about a scientific community that can't even define what the species of the Homo sapien is, I mean, anthropology has defined the Homo sapien species as a frugivore. But no one ever hears of anything like that. Not in the health field, nothing like that. And that's why it's, when we talk about science, you have to add the total package in there. You can't just say some kind of pseudoscience crap like medical doctors talk about science. It's like science. I don't know what science medical doctors talk about and what they use. Most university sciences are separate from that, so I don't know. There's pharmaceutical science out there. There's all kinds of ridiculousness out there. Living in worlds of theories and advanced chemistries and stuff like that, and has done nothing but hurt everybody. Notice when you pull back and you go, oh man, I don't feel good. First thing up, diet. What am I eating? We all know, right? So, diet. Am I using any other chemistry that could be toxic to me? What am I breathing? Things like that. Or is my lymphatic system finally catching up with me? Because you could be on a raw food diet and to develop tumors if your kidneys are not filtering. So it's working on those kidneys and getting filtration. It's learning that when there's a cell, any cell in your body can become a cancer cell, in my opinion. But that's just a cell that's highly damaged. If you put that in your mind and realize that. But they program the Homo sapien to think cancer, death. But we can see how long we can keep you alive by treating you with expensive pharmaceuticals. And nothing could be further from the truth. You have total power to get rid of nodules, tumors, I've had lipomas like dragon's backs totally go away. I mean, there's nothing you can't accomplish when you simply understand the war you're against. Who are you fighting here? The mysterious, the unknown, the I don't knows, but we can treat it? Or do you want to understand how life works at the cellular level and at the human and at the animal level? Same thing. Animals have lymph nodes. Everything's the same thing. So not difficult to understand that. And if I get a little grumpy on you, it's because I care for you guys. And I don't want you to fall into some of these rabbit holes that the AMA or the medical profession has set up that some can't climb out of. And especially when you're younger. So many of you young people are having so much physical problems and troubles that are spilling over into the emotional and mental sides. And we can all work together and fix all that. Is this Blighty? This is Donna Blighty. Donna, Corticosteroids. Hi, gang of healers. Hey! So I wanted to bring up a topic. Cortisone, prednisone, and every zone there is. Right? Product that has it. Yeah, isn't that something? And you used to never see that. Now you see everything with some type of cortisol, some type of steroidal type of... And the problem is, on these steroids, is that I'm not quite sure when they say progesterone, is it truly progesterone, which is going to be an alkaline steroid? I remember it was that many years ago, there was a lot of people died from meningitis. And they blamed this lab that was preparing this steroid solution for this hospital or whatever. And I'm going, something's not right here. Especially when you have the medical profession monkeying with your spinal fluid. That's risky, and all of that. So on the news, finally, it showed a picture of the pharmaceutical, and it said acetate something. Can't remember. If it's an acetate, it's not an alkaline. So they were giving these patients acidic steroids in their spinal fluid with already an acidosis of the brain. Meningitis. Anytime you see an itis attached to anything, you know it's acidosis. And yet, the body fights acidosis with alkaline blood. So, it's obviously they kill these people. But when it comes to steroids and stuff, that spooks me out. The interesting part of the pharmaceutical side of steroids are highly suppressive, where the adrenal steroids are not suppressive. Like if you go on a steroid, a cortisol, or it could be any of them, prednisone, oh Lord. Take that for a skin condition, you're not going to be happy you did. And I was telling you, they got a new show, A Week in My Body or something like that. And first show up was on the toxic effect of steroids. And it was a lady with, of course, at this time from chronic steroid use, and the effect that had on her. She had serious skin problems head to toe. We could fix her, but they didn't know how to do anything. She serious trouble with their adrenals, and their lymph and kidneys and everything else. Nose sprays, pills, nasal rinses, inhalers, asthma meds, topical eczema creams. Oh, yeah, we can keep on going. Keep on going, baby. So I've been off and weak for months. Consistent contact with my doctor's blood tests, body issues continue from headaches to slow wound healing to edema to high BP from low normal BP. Well, your problem is in your lymphatic system, number one. Number two, that lymphatic system, main players is your adrenal glands and your kidneys. Now, I can jump over here and pick up thyroid and skin. On top of those, I can pick up pituitary. On top of those. Being on, if you're talking about someone that's been on all these corticosteroids, having a kind of what we call a Brady-Tachy type of syndrome, or where you have a hypo type of thing going back and forth, it just shows you how acidic and how messed up the lymphatic system is on this, and the endocrine glands as well. That whole, in cardiac work we call it Brady-Tachy, and you can see all kinds of crap like that. Especially coming down off of this, a world of these, you can see all kinds of crap. Because our old saying here is, if you take it, the body quits making it. And that's what you see. So you have to work with that. You have to work with your adrenal glands. You have to work with probably some, you could use cinnamon, but makes your blood pressure go up. Licorice. You can play with some of that. You definitely want to use our endocrine gland formula and start strengthening. Cell tonic, our cell tonic formula, wouldn't hurt either to start strengthening the cells of the body up a little bit. But especially the endocrinology, use that. You might even try a glandular with that, just say for short-term use for a month or something. Just to kind of let everybody know, the problem's already in your kidneys and all through you. That's why the serious need for these things. If you didn't have acidosis, you wouldn't have need for steroids. And then also on that same bid, though, the adrenal glands produces all types of steroids, not just alkaline steroids. Doctors keep telling me it's okay and stay on course. Blood work's okay. Yeah, but what about the lymph work? See, blood work that picture's always going to look good as long as it can. Lymph work, nope, no way. Why? Because I've been taking your herbal remedies all along, thankfully. The damage was caught. Yeah. Well, yeah, because this lady has some, on this, a weekend in my body, steroid toxicity. I don't know how many years she was using steroids, but probably since she was a young person, and she looked like in her, I think, 20s or 30s, still horrible. Now it was head to toe, of course. I am now fruit fasting, off all forms of steroids, and sent message to my doctors, 5 doctors on the CF team, with information about side effects from steroid sensitivities. These guys don't get it, and that's the thing. It's like this one medical doctor told a patient of mine, yeah, they'll go to, this is what he said, they'll go to sleep for a while, but they'll wake up stronger. That's not true. They'll go to sleep for a while, like Rip Van Winkle. Yeah, oh man. Yeah, the steroid sensitivities. And it depends on the steroids. And then they're using acetates as steroids. And it's like, what? It's like, why? The world of pharmaceutical chemistry and stuff is a dark, dark dungeon. Oh my God. On top of that, I was sent a new medication, which I did not start. Was excited though, mainly because I was becoming so weak and off. Now keep in mind, this, if you're talking about weakness, physical weakness, know that your adrenal glands are always going to be involved in steroid use, correct? Because the adrenals work with steroids as opposed to hormones, pretty much, correct? Correct. All right, so the adrenals also produce what? Neurotransmitters, right? Epinephrine and norepinephrine, you're familiar with it. The neurotransmitters for the autonomic nervous system. Hey! Oh, hey, let's fight. You know, that's all autonomic. Oh, I want to breathe. That's autonomic. I want to have a bowel movement. That's autonomic, right? So when you shut down the adrenals, you're shutting down what the adrenals do, what they produce, correct? So your blood sugars, your mineral utilizations, your gonadals, estrogen, testosterone, aldosterone. Then you got your neurotransmitters. All those, everything can be shut down, or just some can be shut down. Doesn't matter. So you shut down the autonomic. Boy, I kind of wish I had some energy. I could finish this video up. I need some energy. When you lose your adrenals, you lose your breath. Literally. So when they're monkeying, when they're playing with these steroids and hormones, they're monkeying with the endocrine gland system. They don't even understand that system, let alone play with it to the point where you're shutting someone's down. You shut someone's endos down, you shut everything in their body down. I mean, it's just, you know, yeah, man. Donna, you're kicking butt, honey. On top of that, I was sent a new medication to do it. Then I found all the answers with one last asthma drug trilogy. Another steroid. Yeah, baby. It's all about the steroids or the antibiotics or what? The vaccines. You see where I'm going? I mean, they live and produce the world of toxicity. And you're getting toxic by your very lifestyles, going into a toxic modality to look for a remedy. Yeah, it's rough out there. Then I found on a steroid, BP went to 148 over 101. Ooh, wow, ouch, 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 ouch. Well, that hit your kidneys big time. Holy crap. And heart palpitations, and I was told to stop taking my BP readings so often because it was probably anxiety. Oh, this is Monday and you're driving me crazy, baby. Don, it's all in your head. I'm sorry. I agree with him. It's anxiety. It's all in your head. Hell, can't be the chemistry you're playing with. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. I know. I mean, when you step aside just for a minute and look at this, and that's what I'm trying to do with you guys, pull you to the side and say, just take a look at this from a more simplistic approach. Take a look at this whole idea of cancer as a tiger loose on the roar inside of your body or something. Moves around on you, kills cells. Cuckoo. So I will need to place another order for adrenal support because I did not get that on the last order, thinking endocrine support was enough. Sometime it will be, you know, I don't know. You just keep working with them, relaxing more, learning how to bring the emotional energies in the body from a higher level. In other words, don't care anymore about stuff. Doesn't matter anymore. Bring that higher power and start strengthening your endocrine glands up. Nothing matters anymore. You know, because everything requires your energy. Every thought you have, every desire you have requires your energy for it. And then when you get it, you have a chain from your consciousness, from your mind, to that which you think, from that which you feel, that which you own, all of that. You ever notice that sometimes when you lose everything, you feel the freest and the happiness? Whew, man. I'm glad that's over. And I tell you, something that happens with older people, they start collecting a lot of things as they get younger, but then when they get older, oh man, no way, I'm done. A good one to show you, that's a new show called Filthy, strange first name, Filthy Fortunes. And this team, these 4 guys, go around, and this guy buys these hoarder houses where these people just have inherited them or whatever, and just wanted to get the money out of it and get it all cleaned up. And he makes good money a lot of times doing that. It's an interesting show, but it is that you see that we just want it all gone, but you see years of collecting some of the most expensive and fabulous stones or memorabilia or whatever. But when they come to a certain point, when you come to a certain point, I don't care anymore. And you notice that's when you start to have more fun in your life. You start to be more free. And it took Buddha how many years under the tree to get there? I mean, I'm just saying. All right. Where am I? I'm getting carried away here. I will also keep taking the skeletal, kidney, GI, brain, neurological, and lymph, of course. I am not sure if I should get more bone and connective tissue, though. Well, I don't think you would need too much of that. If you have some serious skeletal weaknesses like scoliosis and stuff, definitely very supportive. But you're working on your parathyroid gland, are you? I would be. Or at least make sure you have your parathyroid in a healthy way. Make sure your fingernails are good and strong, your toenails all clawy, your hair's good and strong, you don't have a lot of wrinkles or anything, you're toned pretty good. Those are all signs. Your veins are not sticking out. So it's up to you, you know. My GI is jacked up. I have GI broom, which seems to help, and maybe you can tell me why. Now, I'm getting ready. This is the old wizard and the vat. I'm getting ready to play with GI broom and our bowel formulas. So I'm getting ready to play with the GI broom formula. If you got any thing you want to say about it, let Marco and Debbie know, because I'm getting ready to stir the vat. And then we've got a head to toe. I'm getting ready to do some a little magic and send it off to the lab to be made. I have pituitary, but not sure I need those as well. Muscle test, honey. That's your best. My solution to everything, use this old arm out here and muscle test. Have someone put when you're not looking, so you don't know what you're doing, just have them push down on this arm. You know, get away. We show you how to do that on the thing. But better than this. But in doing this, you'll be able to know if you want to enjoy your own awareness, feel it. Pick it up and feel it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Or, nah, I don't. Nah. It can be either way. Get used to feeling that. I had a good friend who's an out-of-body chiropractor. Me and him taught out-of-body classes, but we also taught classes of health together. He taught kinesiology, and I taught detoxification and tissue regeneration. That was way back in the 70s, man. Holy crap. But he could just if you come to see him, and he was a top Palmer grad, good guy, he could just talk to you while you're laying there, talk to your body, and he would listen. Same thing. You know, he wouldn't even have to touch you anymore. I mean, it just, you can get really good at those things. That's the fun of it. But muscle test on the pituitary, because sometimes you don't need to hit that pituitary gland too hard. You know, I'm for sometimes less is more, but then those adrenals are big glands. And so the thyroids are big glands. Since respiratory and kidneys are the future downfall of people since COVID and will cause more destruction in humans, maybe it's a topic to discuss on your Morse TV. Okay. All right. Well, one thing's for sure, the lymphatic system is lungs. You know, it is all of that. And so by getting your kidneys to filter, getting the mucus congestion, maybe we had a long talk about that the other day, getting that mucus and congestion out of your sinuses, because if you're backed up, she's right on. You're walking in a COVID door, or whatever they're playing with. But it's going to break you loose one day anyway. You've got to tackle this the right way always. You move to any type of cold, I don't care what causes it. If you have any type of cold or flu-like symptom, your body's telling you that your lymphatic system needs to be cleaned out. Hello, call the plumber, call whoever. Matter of fact, you can call us naturopath plumbers. I'm not offended. We'll open you up. Yeah, but you're right, Donna. You're right on, honey. Asthma, inhalers, and their side effects, and their options instead of these killers. That's why I like the antispasmodic. We have an antispasmodic that'll help to open you up. And then they do have inhalers that are non-steroidals. Aerobid is probably a steroidal. I forget all my inhalers now. Used to know a lot of them, but kind of been out of the mix. And then on TV, they have these commercials. It's like, oh, take this with your inhaler, and it'll last longer, and, all these other kind of things. I say, clean your lungs out and get your adrenals straightened up, because if you have asthma, you also have what? Autonomic nerve weakness. You have a nerve weakness to your lungs. It's not just congestion. And then people freak out when they get a little cold or flu, or they get a fever. Come on, grow up. Fevers are the way your body opens the door. What's the largest eliminative organ you have? The skin. And the skin uses fevers to what? Oh, sweat. And sweating allows you to eliminate toxins. Go back to Germany and Swiss, and so a lot of these countries had all these health spas and all these saunas and things where you would go through sweating and like rejuvenation type fun stuff. Yeah. You always feel good after you have a good sweat. Now, granted, if you have skin problems, it can look worse for a little while. Not after you finally get yourself cleaned up. You gotta work toward your goal of what you want. But we're here to help you. We're not going anywhere. Kidney dialysis centers will be banking in even more in the future. Cardiovascular issues will soar. They already are, honey. I'll tell you, the kidneys, we've been talking about kidneys how many years together? A long time. I knew it was the kidneys 50 years ago. But they haven't. But now they just moved. I was just reading this. They just moved. The death from kidneys is like number 3 or 4 now. It's actually the number 1 if you look at that. Because if it's connection to the lymphatic system. It's the main eliminative organs of the lymphatic system. You don't eliminate your acids out of your body's going to go down with that someday. Ah. Are you a redhead? I know someone else is a redhead. No wonder you're talking this way. Spunky woman. Been married to a redhead for 40-some years. Kind of off and on. Oh, but you're right on there, sweetheart. Everything's going to soar. I mean, everything is soaring. I know and well, let's just say I know what I see. I am focused on detox again. I am thrown away about 30 Holy crap, sweetheart. She's thrown away about 30 pharmaceutical drugs since yesterday. I am not thrilled right now because I've been communicating with my doctor since November that something is wrong with me. Conk, conk. I don't know, honey. I don't know what's wrong with the world out there like that. It's like the more you see some of the ignorance in the medical world, the more shocking it becomes. The more you understand truth, the more shocking their theories come. And the more that you know the damage to tissue as well as the death rate from pharmaceuticals, not just the procedures, the pharmaceuticals alone is staggering. Staggering. Are you kidding? Staggering. If we had one death from an herbal formula, we'd never hear the end of it. And they have millions with just one pharmaceutical. Ouch. Not one person of a team of 8, including a pharmacist, did not catch that my chart concerns was obvious. Too much steroid products daily? That's why I say, not only do they do that, but they can put you on blood pressure medications and see you next year. What? Oh my God. Yeah, they care. They care about you, all right. Too much steroid. I am not a doctor, and thankfully I have faith that my guardian angels would help me see the truth. Well, you fixed yourself, and that's my point. You guys are fixing yourselves when you're fixing yourselves. When you're going along with the medical team, you're going down the rabbit hole. And I love the medical. There's things about it that's cool. I love great surgeons, of course. I love great emergency rooms. There's a certain amount of thrill to that. But the awareness, whoa, ouch. Thank you for your herbs. They once again saved me from liver failure, kidney failure, stroke, or even worse. Thanks. I love herbs. Come on, Donna, I love herbs. Herbs, But you want the highest quality. You want organic or wildcrafted. There's commercial herbs, but you got to take what you get. You never know. And then your pesticides, herbicides, and then you got to be careful about wildcrafting, that they're not picking in near roads or public highways. So you got a lot of things to think about that way. But man, the things that these herbs can do. But eating the right diet. Don't forget that. I have said it many times. You are a God-sent man. Oh, thanks, honey. And God bless you all. I thank you much. And we love you all here too, Donna. We do. P.S. The picture was me excited because the pharmacist cleared me with all my meds that I would not have any interactions. That moment lasted one day. Oh, God. I woke up the next morning after I prayed with nausea, pancreatitis. That's not, Just think taking the supplement or whatever you want to call a pharmaceutical or herb or whatever is the very thing that starts to hurt you and break you down even more. Oh, my God. And loss of appetite. My prayer was answered. Do not take these pills. I was let down again, and my trust for my doctors is now in the toilet. Hello, Donna. Hello, honey. And I'm not just being a naturopath against medical doctors like they are. I don't care what degree you got. Do you know what you're talking about? I don't care. I don't care what degree. Doesn't turn me on or off. I don't care. You could be whoever. I don't care who you are. But do you know what you're talking about if you're going to teach others or work with others that are in serious trouble? Chantel. Chantella or Chantel? Tinnitus. Mr. Dr. Robert Morse. Yes, ma'am. Reporting front and center, sweetie. First of all, I just want to say thank you for sharing so much content on your channel. It's been so fascinating to learn about the human body. You know what? That makes me really like you, because that's been my whole goal. If you guys, even the students, we have these videos, you can go back and reference some of these cases. For a medical doctor learning how to help people and cure people, I think these videos would be gold for them, wouldn't you? I would. If I had a chance to listen to a naturopath or a medical doctor that's curing everything out there, are you kidding me? And learning how to do it? But I don't have an ego like that. I don't care. I'll learn from anybody. I'm always open to learning. I wanted to ask you if you have anything on ringing in the ears tinnitus. We've talked a lot about that through the years, but look at the body as, I mean, you've got, everything is so chemically influential. Pressures, colors. I mean, there's so much, everything is a chemical influential. The more acidic the body becomes, the tighter, the stiffer, the more pressure. Same thing, my guess, as you start to lose the neural pathways, the myelin sheaths, you might see a resonance there. But pressure always with tinnitus, always. And I would work with the neural lymphatics down the back of my neck. I would also, down the sternum, clean up my GI tract and my transverse bowel, clean the sinuses out, let my sinuses drain, getting all that out of you, getting the pressure out of the kidneys, out of the spine. Learn how to relax the body. Learn how to do a little meditation or contemplation. Put yourself somewhere else. Put yourself at the 1,000-petal lotus, or put yourself on a beach somewhere and just relax and let all the sounds, because every sound of nature has its effect on you. And a lot of the sounds of nature just rock you like a baby. You ever go into a pine grove, especially an Australian pine grove? Talk about the hue or the ohm. Oh, you can get a buzz just walking through an Australian pine grove. Oh, man. I won't tell you what I used to do, but I had an Australian pine grove outside of my duplex here in Florida when I built it, and that's where I used to go to get the sanctuary. All right, so where am I here? It started for me a few months after I gave birth and has just stayed for a whole year now. Oh, wow. I don't listen to any loud noise or do any loud activity, and I'm under the impression it must be mucus. Yeah, congestion, and just when you back up or become obstructed, then you can hear that. You can feel that. I mean, all these things, as you begin to open some of these doors, we're talking about that, I think, on the last video. You open like the door of the sinuses. And your first time that you've smelled from cleared sinuses, you will be shocked. You'll get this nirvanic grin on your face, and you will literally be shocked at the fact that you've been smelling by memory. Some people, especially the milk drinkers, boy, I was shocked how much that I've lost. It was like, wow. Just everything plays a role in happiness, and including proper smells, proper taste. Matter of fact, I'll get that video done one of these days. The last video I'm going to do for the school, for me, on colors, taste, sounds, music, all of that, how each one of these are so influential to your spirituality or not. It was only in the left ear, and I have also had a lymph node on my neck on the right side. It's your lymph system, honey. I keep telling you. I also have a lymph node on my neck on the right side, just behind my ear for many years. I actually don't remember not having it. And see, that's what gets me. She's drawing a picture of what scares me in the sense of your lymph nodes. You see lymphatic rosaries in the iridology pictures. You know that you're born with that. Your mom's lymph system is so backed up. The baby's lymph system's totally backed up. Carrying these lymph nodes so backed up for a lifetime is scary to me, because chemistry just doesn't sit there and do nothing. It just doesn't sit there for 10, 20, 30 years and do nothing. The acids are going to burn a hole in this hand. You can't expect no changes if you can't get those lymph nodes broken loose. So I would work with the neurolymphatic points, right? I would work with getting my kidneys to filter for sure, because you want to break that pressure on the left side loose a little bit. This was checked by my doctors over a decade ago, and they told me it was benign. It doesn't hurt or hasn't grown. That's good, but scary, because all the tissue around it, not just sitting there, unless it's his grew new bypasses around it. I mean, blood does that. Blood can grow new vascular pathways around an obstruction. I guess the lymph vessels could too. Maybe have its own obstruction. I don't know. I mean, all this is pretty interesting stuff to think about. My sinuses are very blocked. Yeah. And my partner complains about my snoring every night. Yeah. That's all it is. If you can remember, work on your bowels. Remember this transverse colon relationship to your sinuses. So you want to work on your GI tract. Take a GI bowel formula. We got them that don't move you, that totally clean and start to open you up better. Not just in movement, but energetically. I can't describe that. A few people in my family have said it's very loud, and this has been a case for over a decade. Yeah, and then sleep apnea can come in, and then you can affect heart arrhythmias. A lot of people go into AFib with sleep apnea. The story can keep going on there. You want to break all that loose, because you can get polyps. You can deteriorate your sinus cavities. You can deteriorate your upper teeth. It keeps on going. You can get to the point where you go, honey, where did I park the car? Or you get cataracts, or you get, it just goes down that long line. There's just a long line caused by the same side of chemistry building up in you. The fact that it hasn't grown any in all these years is interesting, because I'm sure you haven't been a raw foodist all these years. So, interesting. Glad to see that. The other night, I was in bed and experienced the strangest thing happen to my head. I was dozing off, and then I felt like an earthquake sensation. Okay, so you didn't include your eye pictures, but my guess is right back here, cerebellum, mastoid, ear. you've got some weaknesses going on in that area. And now with the tinnitus, with this pressure, you're going to start feeling those waves like that. And it's unsettling. It can be unsettling because you don't have any points of stability anymore when you get like that a lot. You're not stable anyway. It can be a little scary. Okay. I checked online the next day for my symptoms to find it was something called exploding head syndrome. Boy, they got a name for everything, don't they? Honey, you had an exploding head syndrome. Your head exploded. Well, not completely. It looks like you still have it. God. It was so terrifying. It felt so real. Oh, no, it was real. No, when your nervous system starts having problems, both of them, central and autonomic, extremely scary. Because your breathing, everything's tied to that, guys. Your nervous system, you don't mess with the power company. My head feels very heavy and always aches, but it's something I can get through. No, it's something you drain. Here, drain. You turn your ear this way and oh no. But you could candle your ears if you want to do that. You can get ear candles. Candle each ear with about 4 candles, 3 to 4 candles. It could take some of that pressure out of there. We had an RN here in town doing our ear candles for our clinic. I also am not sleeping much anymore, mostly 4 hours a night. So it's obviously affecting your pineal gland, all right? But this is also what's next to the pineal gland, fairly close there, the pituitary. So you want to be careful. You can shut down your pineal, pituitary, all kinds of problems. So you want to, matter of fact, I'm feeling you right now. Oh, God. You're coming through here pretty loud and clear. I better stop. I'm feeling you. Phew-wee. I've started eating all raw and following your teachings on YouTube, but any guidance would be so appreciated. Absolutely. I'd go right into the fruit category since you feel so much pressure there, and I'm feeling it for you. I have heard that tinnitus, if not cleared out, lead to Alzheimer's symptoms later on in life. Why would that be? Why? Think about it. Why? What's causing the pressure? The lymphatic system, right? That's your sewer system. Deals with acid side of chemistry, right? Why would you get a plaque? Why would you break down cells in the central nervous system for? Acidosis, lymphatic system. Same system causes both problems. One's just the early sign of the other one. I am very concerned and really looking for help. She's only 29 years old. Donna, you're only 29 years old. Oh, this is Chantel. This is Chantella. Sorry. You're only 29 years young, sweetheart, and have a whole life ahead of me with my young daughter and my partner. All right. So you got to get your kidneys filtering. Very, very important. Get your kidneys filtering. And I want you to think about your daughter, too. We are frugivores. Go on a fruit diet as much as you can. Go on a raw food diet, but make most of that fruit, especially grapes. But your chocolate, applesauce, all kinds of things you're going to have fun with this. But you want to break your kidneys loose. You want to clean all your body up there. Get a picture of your eyes. Take a look at them. Get a picture of your daughter's eyes. That's even more fun. Please help me, sir. Many blessings to you. Chantella from the UK. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Didn't mean to get you mixed up too much. But, yeah, again, stagnation, constipation, whatever word you want to call your lymphatic system, when you start to see swellings and things like this. And most people have it anyway. Most people are not raw foodists. And even a lot of the raw foodists don't move their lymph well. But it's a road. But getting on your, and I would get on herbs for the kidneys, the lymphatic system, the endocrinology. Get a picture of your eyes. Take a look at what's going on there. Expand your symptomology and see what's going on. But it sounds like you're really shutting down your pineal and maybe even your pituitary. You don't want that. 29 years young. And you want to exactly, this girl is right on. Especially if she's getting these waves of instability, if you want to call it that. This is the one that concerns me, is back of the head, because where you have the cerebellum, mastoid, you got the ear connection, the autonomic connection. You can get all kinds of what's the word I'm looking for? Just all kinds of weediness and dizziness, stuff like that. You know, unsureness, instability, that sort of thing. And it depends how bad this is and how much pressure you start getting up in here to where you have these problems, and you're only 29. I don't like that at all. And at 29, you could have a setup for MS, Lou Gehrig's, stuff like that. No. That's why fruit would be the best choice right now, because it will strengthen your nervous system. I might add, I would also take nerve power. But moving your lymph system, getting your sinuses to break loose, and that's, believe it or not, though, all these bowels and kidneys here are the main frame. Everything just sits on, or it sits on top of. So cleaning up this central core here, but getting your kidneys to filter, remember that, sweetheart. Check your urine. You want filtration. Stay away from dairy products. Stay away from proteins. I mean, if you got real bad with that, you could run our blood circulation formula with that. You could use that one as well with that. But mostly you want to hydrate and clean, detox, eliminate. Man, boy, I picked you up big time there. Whoa. I get it. Wow. Sorry about that, guys. I try not to be too sensitive, but holy crap. Let me do one more here. I know these are a little bit long on you, and I apologize, but let me do one more. Oh, look at this one. All right. This is a Marco. She's a female, South Africa. She's 67 years, young. Wait for it. 5'3". So you know immediately pituitary. So when you say pituitary, you've got a pituitary problem. What creates a cellular problem in our world? Genetics. But again, as we trace back, we're researchers, right? What's genetics? How do you create these things? And so, in looking at this case right off and looking at her nose and that, she's only 5'3". So we know immediately she has lymphatic problems all in her head. Because the blood system does not cause cellular problems, the lymphatic system does. The only time blood causes cellular problems is through ischemia or, withdrawal of blood to tissue. That would be a little bit of a problem. Lupus with flares out on nose and fingers. All right, sweetheart. Your lymph system is a mess. I can see it in your eyelash, your eyebrows. I can see it all through you. You very much also, you want to get on our herbal formulas, the kit, if you can afford it. It takes you through the kidneys, the lymphatics, the endocrine glands, and the bowels. That is essential. You need to do that. You need to open that up. I would want to look at your parathyroid because there's no question you got pituitary problems. You want to address that, right? You want to address that with the endocrine gland formula. I would probably take 2 dropperfuls of the endocrine gland formula, even though you're only 5'3", probably morning and night. Take off a day or 2 for the weekend, no problem that way. This is her mom. Hi, doctor. My mom has had lupus for over 30 years with a wide variety of allopathic medicines and treatments, but obviously nothing was worked to help or heal her. That's because you're trying to treat something that you have to clean out and get rid of. They're not trying to get rid of it. They're just trying to treat it. Oh, it's too acidic. Well, see if we can cool it down a little bit. Oh, here, I got the same thing, except mine won't kill you. And mine is so good. Antacid. What's antacid is an alkaline side of chemistry. So there's no remedy if you don't remove. In any any condition at all, if you don't remove and hydrate the human body, and remove the lymphatic stagnation, there's no getting better. And when you try to treat something that has to be cleaned out of the body, and you're trying to treat it and leave it in the body, that's nutso. So everything you're seeing is you're trying to get a sewer system that's backed up, opened up. And you have to see it somewhere. Hard to see stuff from the urine in the stool. You see a lot of mucus sometimes coming out of that stool, but it's the sweating and the urine that you're most concerned with. And with her, she's 67. You want to make sure her parathyroid is working well, so she doesn't fracture bones, so she's strong, all of that. Is this her here? Is this your 67-year-old lady here? Is this her? Yeah. I like to see a little more toning, so I do think there's some parathyroid, but I don't have anything else to go on here. Medicines including chemo tablet treatments. What? Her immune system is weak, and she needs proper treatment and guidance to heal. So let me say, her immune system, which medical doctors don't understand, so her immune system, which is really her sewer system, which is called the lymphatic system, which is where all the immunity, or most of it, of your body's immunity is in the sewer system. What they say about it? Oh, is weak. Weak? Are you kidding me? Don't you wish? Don't you wish you could say your adrenals are a little weak and a little weak? I can take a few things and strengthen them up. You got miles of this, dear ones. And when you're backed up in your sewer system, you're backed up for miles. That's serious. You ever see what tumors look like after they chew you up? This is serious stuff, serious side of chemistry. And it's lucky you still have your nose. Although black salve on that, no, I'm just kidding. But you could use, and what I would do is I would use some of our, it used to be the salve for the ultimate salve. Now it's the tissue repair salve. I would put that tissue repair salve on that nose of yours. Absolutely would. Because it's going to chew your skin up. It's going to chew your tissue up underneath the skin. Because this is acidosis. And so whether it's you, your mom, whoever, this is what you got to do. You got to get your kidneys filtering, but you have endocrinology problems. You're only 5'3". And my guess, if we went through her case, we'd find a long list of things. Because there's nothing here really, yeah, we get it. But lupus, don't get fooled. Lupus, Lyme's, fibromyalgia, they're all the same stuff. They're all the same stuff. One's blamed on a tick. Someone living in an apartment up in New York City gets lupus, but a tick bit him somewhere. Okay? It's all, no matter what symptoms are varied, it's all systemic acidosis. And acids destroy tissue. Acids causes pain in tissue. I mean, that's all the arthritis, the same problem. Systemic acidosis. It'll suck the calcium right out of you. It'll cause you pain everywhere. It'll destroy the cells around it. I mean, that's the nature of acids. And acids, your sewer system is everywhere. There's blood. Wow, I mean, it's everywhere. Yeah, it's everywhere. And you want your sewer system everywhere. But you want your sewer system moving. You don't want your kidneys clear. So the same thing applies here. This case, this lady needs to go on a fruit diet. Fruit, berries, or melons, maybe a salad at lunch for a while. Probably until she can get balanced with that. But I can tell you, parathyroid, I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to recommend a parathyroid glandular. And you want to check out any other health issues while she's doing this and fix her up. If this is your mom, I don't know, when we do these, Deb, I'm not sure who I'm talking to here, whether Marco is the mom, but the mom has to be 67. But this could be systemic, head to toe. It don't matter. Your breakouts could be anywhere. And she's had this for over 30 years. Well, she probably came out a mother with a certain amount of lymph backing up. And the same thing. So, again, just realize what foods you do not want to do when you're dealing with this. What foods do you not want to do when you're dealing with any of these cases we just read? Dairy products, uno number one. Proteins, beans, grains. Get rid of them all. Try a new level of health. Get her some of that salve for that nose too, because you don't want it to get chewed off. I'm telling you, I've seen so many things in all these years. Just realize acids are a very serious side of chemistry. Let me see. All right. I got time for one more. Thank you. Reba McIntyre. Reba. This is a 49-year-old woman. She's 5'4.5". You can't get away squeezing it with that other half, dear one. It's still pituitary. You're 105 pounds. But that's pituitary. Just watch yourself. You're 50 years old by now. But for you younger ladies, you're in your teens and your 20s. I mean, this all deals with children, having children, carrying children, all the other symptoms you can have out of this. I'm telling you, it's everything. The question is food aversion and allergies. It's about herself. Hi, Doc. Hi, sweetheart. Reba, I like your meat. Oh, I'm wondering if people who have a lifelong allergy to onion, like myself, can ever get over it. My question is, onion, huh? All right, my question is, do you have sulfur in your bowels? You didn't send me an eye pic, so do you have sulfur in your bowels? Sometimes when you have sulfur in your gut, you can't handle the cruciferouses or the onions and stuff like that. Your Brussels sprouts and stuff like that. Broccoli, cauliflower gives you more gas, more thing. But it could be you have sulfur in there, and yeah, that could be a problem. Or your body plainly, flatly doesn't want it. I can handle a little onion now, raw onion, but my body doesn't do well with pungents. I have no issue with dehydrated onions, but any time of raw, fresh onions, even shallots, scallions, etc., really bother me. I'm guessing you got sulfur, honey. I just smell them and I get different symptoms. I bet you $5 you got sulfur. You got to let us know now. All right, always unique to each exposure. Well, just look at your eyes and see if you have orange around the pupil, because that's what this sounds like to me. Or you have a chemical in onion that you just have too much in your body of. And until you get your lymphatic system cleaned more, you'll continue to have this. There's a point where when you get your sewer system cleaned up, yeah, your allergies go away, no question. That's the whole gig of it all. But with this, I'm just going to guess. Additionally, I've always loved cucumber. Ooh, well, cucumber would cool down sulfur. I love cucumber too. That's my go-to vegetable. But in the last year or more, when I eat them, I get terrible indigestion. Ooh. Your body might be getting refined. I get pickles just fine, probably because they're fermented cubes. Yeah, I know. I like pickles too. You know what? Your body could digestively. I don't know what you're eating, but if you're doing really well digestively, you could be getting refined. And my body has done nothing but refine itself through all these years, and I haven't been perfect. Just too much poverty, too much work, too much everything, Been rough. But I've noticed that a lot. And my body just, it's gotten to the point where it's rough to do anything green. I just can't touch salads. I used to eat carrots. I can't eat carrots. I like my cucumbers. I don't do broccoli or cauliflower. I don't do cruciferouses. I can do tomatoes, beefsteak, but and sometimes you leave the world of certain foods. Okay, see ya. As long as I keep entering the world of fruit, and by the way, I have some mangoes hanging all over my tree. And I picked 2 mangoes. They're not very big. They're the first ones, but they'll do for taste. And then I've got my mangoes from the Mango Factory. The Mango Factory is in Fort Myers or North Fort Myers. what's that place there out there? Anyway, oh my God, they've got the Valencia Prides, and the cold destroyed my Valencia Pride mango tree. I just put it in and remember I've showed you Valencia Prides from my other trees. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm hoping I'm going to have some real nirvana coming. But your body changes, and you want your body to change. You want your body to go, you know what? I don't want that anymore. I don't need that anymore. You want it to refine itself always more and more to fruit, better fruit, maybe berries, melons, things like that. I sure want my body to keep refining itself. I don't want today to be like yesterday. Groundhog Day. I want to be able to eat cucumbers again. Plus, even if I don't eat onion, I'd like to not be so sensitive to the smell of them. Yeah, I gotcha. And if I do eat them, similarly, I don't want to be severely uncomfortable from the symptoms brought on by them. Oh, I bet. Gastric. It's got to be gastric. You know what? It's got to be gastric. I'm just betting you got sulfur. So the more you detox, the more you'll be able to handle that, unless the body just flatly goes, I don't want you anymore. Good, I'll stay away. But cucumbers are so balanced out, I don't think you'll get there. But I really think that as you keep moving down this road, you'll get past this onion thing. But I get it, big time. And it can go on and be something else. I mean, your body can refine itself against things you used to eat a lot out of. You go, my body just don't want that no more. Thanks so much for your time and help with us, plus for all of your free material. You are a godsend. Oh, thanks. Reba. Listen, I love all you guys. You guys are so much fun and joy to work with. Matter of fact, you're the only fun on the planet. But when you suffer, I kind of suffer. I'm one of those guys that try not to be too involved, but when you're hurting, I'm kind of hurting. So I don't want you to hurt. I mean, you came to me, I got that a little while ago. I got it. And that's the problem being too sensitive, by the way, guys, is that you can feel someone's problems. I remember I was sitting with one of my masters one time, and he says, but there were some other people around, and he goes, one of your kidneys are killing me, and my kidney was killing me bad. It was killing me so bad I didn't say anything like that. It's like, dang. But you've got to open this doorway. Your bowels, keep remembering your bowels are right here in the middle, but they have a big effect on draining the sinuses. So they love to be cleaned up. They love to have energy moving through them. Raw foods. Go on a raw food diet. I don't care if it's vegetables in there. Do a raw food diet. Don't eat anything cooked. No meat, no grains, no beans, no dairy products. And nothing else cooked. Try it if you can't do a week or two, come on. I don't know. Come on, a week or two. I'll tell you, Dr. Oz took 12 people to the zoo? He needs to take Robert Kennedy to the zoo and put him on the same diet. I love you guys. All right. This is Monday, first of the week. I'm going to be brewing in the GI Broom and some of our other teas. I got the wheels are turning. I love you guys. You have a great week. For you guys that are suffering, you got my heart. Hang in there. You're going to get it. because only you have the tenacity to know and to pull yourself together, pull what's needed together, and listen to what all these other people are going through. And allow yourself to grow. You know, so many of you keep going to these medical doctors over and over and over again. After a while, doesn't it come pretty clear we've got a problem in the medical community? A huge one. Especially with so many deaths each year. We've got a huge problem in the medical community. And it isn't all pretty stuff. So you just got to wake up to some of this stuff. Diseases does not exist. Get rid of that whole concept of disease. It does not exist. Cause and effect, chemistry, physics, real science rules everything. There's nothing that is guesswork. God doesn't work on guesswork, if you hadn't noticed. Woo. Love you guys. Hope to see you Wednesday. Again, I've got some herbal formulas to over. And see you on the next video. I love you. If you need any help, give our clinic. We have a nice, my son's got a nice clinic next door. Julia's back from our old center from years ago. So the Bruise Brothers, we're building the band back.